Peace and power, sacred sisters. Welcome back to another one. Today we are talking about how spiritually successful women think differently, or we could say successful spiritual women think differently. Oh my goodness. Okay. There is just a different mentality when it comes to success, manifestation, and creation when you are a spiritually led woman. And so we are going to be diving into that today. What does that look like mindset wise and also emotionally? How do you allow yourself to be spiritually successful so that you succeed in life? Right? If you could succeed at the internal work, at the transformation work, at the healing work, at the embodiment work, the success in the physical only mirrors what you have been successful at internally, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And so I want to talk about what the mindset is of the women, of those of you who are successful in the spiritual world, but you are spirit led. And you are successful in your spiritual journey because you continue to show up, you continue to evolve, grow, heal, transform, right? And so this is a mirroring effect that is happening. And if you did not know, you will know today that your inner work sets the standard for what you experience in your outer reality. All right? That's the topic for today. Before we get all the way into it, a song has been coming up. I want to know how y'all like it compared to the original version, okay? Right now, we are going to listen to Robert Glasper and Layla Hathaway, Cherish Today. They did their rendition of Sade's Cherish Today, and this song has been coming up. It's the long one. We're not going to listen to that, to the long, long one. Let's listen to the one that is just right. I want y'all to tell me how y'all like it compared to the other one. Wow, dream often. Wow.
Cherish the day,
Mm.
won't go astray.
Go ahead, grab your tea, light your candle. Let's get ready to talk. Let's do that while we listen to this music.
Won't be afraid, won't catch me running. You're ruling the way that I move. Now I breathe your air. Yeah.
Wow. Let me know in the comments how y'all are vibing with the tunes. Peace and love. Say what's up with Mr. Room.
And I breathe your air. You only can rescue me. This is my prayer. If you were mine, if you were mine, I wouldn't want to go to heaven. I cherish the day, I won't go astray, I won't be afraid, you won't catch me running, moving the way that I move. Only you can rescue me. is my prayer. If you were mine, if you were mine, I wouldn't want to go to heaven. Cherish the day, won't go astray. I won't be afraid, won't catch me running. Cherish the day, won't go astray. Won't be afraid, won't catch me running.
Oh my goodness. Art. Wow. Cherish the day. That's a vibe. Listen, that's the energy. That's the energy we on. Like, if you are not on the energy of cherishing every day, I don't know what you're doing. Okay? Because what is life without cherishing the day and being so intentional to feel damn good, right? To feel good about yourself, to feel good about where you're going, to feel good about the possibilities, to feel good to just be you and get to have this experience. I mean, like, what? Cherish the day. Cherish the day. All right. That's some Maya energy for you right there. You know, understanding how to appreciate what it is that you have, who you are, because from that, there is infinite potential, right? There's nothing that you can't birth and create in this experience. All right. Ladies, if you have not seen already, I've dropped a new series called Womb Wednesday. I dropped a video yesterday, the first video, and oh my God, it's speaking to this energy right here, right? You know, just being able to create and being able to really have a divine and sacred human experience. So y'all go check that out. So here's the thing. What does it mean to be spiritually successful, to be spiritually succeeding? All right. To me, it means that you tend to your heart, you pursue your passions, your dreams, your goals. You are constantly evolving, transforming, aligning. You follow your heart, right? You're on your hero's journey, right? That's spiritual success. And so when you align with that, success in the physical realm becomes natural, right? Because you're defining your success from a totally different place, right? But the world has told us that success is more money, more power, more proving, just more stuff, more things, right? But the energy and the spirit of Mayat really calls us to define success from within. Okay. And that's something that spiritually successful people know. That's something that people who are successful and they live a spiritual life know. They know that they can't attribute what they feel like is success based off of the world, right? They have to define it for themselves. So that was one of the first major points that I tapped into with this book, Successful Women Think Differently. But of course, I had to take it a little bit deeper, right? I had to take it a little bit further because just being successful without having the spirit is chaotic, right? Right? It's not grounding. But also at the same time, just having the spirit, but not having success or not having anything to show for it is just stagnation. And so there's a fine dance between your spirituality and having success in the physical world, right? And so we want to understand what that is. We want to understand how to be able to create a life for ourselves that is good, that is well, that we're proud of, while at the same time staying rooted and grounded in our spirit. Does that sound like where y'all are at in y'all's lives? Does that sound like the constant conquest of balancing the spiritual and the physical, right? One of the first things that truly successful women who are spiritually grounded know is that you have to define it for yourself. Let's read a page out of this book really quickly, because did I tell y'all how I found this book? Let me get y'all a little better visual of it. It's called Successful Women Think Differently by Valerie Burton. Listen, I found this book in the airport on our way home from Miami. First of all, Miami was such an activating experience. We went to Miami for Dream's 40th birthday, and it turned me on. I mean, it was sexy. Miami is my second home. Okay? Like, I live, right? Miami. It's something about the frequency there, the energy there, that turned on so many light bulbs in my energy and in my spirit. I was just like, okay, everything I wanted, I got in Miami without effort. It was just easy. It was just like, here you go, here you go, here you go. My favorite place thus far, right? So we're leaving Miami, and I'm like, babe, I need a book. I pick up this book, and I actually open the book and read it on the plane home. And as I'm reading the introduction, emotion gets stirred up in me. Like, you ever watch something, hear something, read something, and it stirs your spirit? This book did that in the introduction. I literally shed a tear. I'm like, why am I crying reading a book? This woman was speaking to my life. And I want to share with y'all the revelations that I've had since working with this book now 2 months and really diving into this energy. One of the biggest things, the most important things, is really getting out of the rat race and comparison and things like that. Comparison is the thief of joy, is literally a real thing. Okay. But let me read this part that I thought was so important that I want y'all to know. It says, redefining success for yourself. So how do you define success for yourself? Will you be successful when you get a certain title at work, make a certain amount of money, get married, have a baby, finally buy your dream home? The truth is that success looks different for each of us. But to find true happiness, you need to define success by what holds real meaning in life: relationships, making a difference, and living an authentic life, for starters. Those who chase after the next best thing are rarely satisfied, finding themselves on that never-ending hedonic treadmill. They find short-term thrills only to be let down once the newness wears off. Consider these 5 ways to define success on your own terms. Somebody do me a favor and drop these things in the comments as I read them. I'm not going to go into detail about them, but I want to give y'all the 5 things that you define success as. And I really want to give you that so that you can shift your perspective, right? Because a lot of times the perspective is simply out of Mayat. In every situation we find ourselves in, there's an opportunity for us to shine, for us to evolve, for us to manifest, right? Every opportunity, every situation. Nothing is happenstance, right? So when we learn that we literally get to choose how we see something, how we perceive something, I mean, we have infinite possibilities. So number 1 for defining success, value fulfillment more than success. So what she's saying is, even scrap the word success and ask yourself, how fulfilled are you? What is fulfilling to your values? Wow. Because oftentimes success is external, right? It's the money, it's the titles, it's the possessions. So first of all, you want to start looking at what is your value system? What is your value set? What are your principles, your codes? Are you living up to that? That's success, right? She also says aim for excellence, not success, right? Because again, success is a projection. Excellence is your own embodiment and realization of yourself. How can I strive to be better every day? How can I strive to excel in all of these aspects of my life? This is how truly successful women think. And we understand that this is spiritual work to shift perspectives like this. Okay. It says measure success by your own standards, not society, right? Ask, what's my impact? What's my impact? We already know in the spiritual community, the word purpose is essential, right? Gifts, talents. We're going to talk about that a little bit later today. We already know that there's something that we're meant to do. And so if we focus our attention on that and start defining how we feel about ourselves based off of how we impact, now we're looking at something totally different. Now we're seeing ourselves through the lens of our own divinity. Wow. And then it says, ask, is my success making me a better person? Is my success making me a better person? Right? So as you analyze and you look at all of these different things, your values, you striving for excellence on a daily basis, as you start to really meditate on the way you show up in the world, how you give back. And as you start to really live that out, I'm telling y'all, listen, showing up every day on your purpose. Let me say this. In the beginning, it takes conscious effort in the beginning because you're still trying to convince yourself that there's something special and unique about you. You're still trying to convince yourself that you're not like everybody. You're still trying to convince yourself that there's a divinity inside of you. And so when you're still trying to prove that to yourself, it's difficult to give that to others because you're like, wait, if I don't see it, how are they going to see it? No, that can't be it. Do we understand? So you have to understand that everything is a mirroring effect. Everything is just a reflecting of one another, right? So as you start to redefine success for yourself, and as you start to be proud of yourself, listen, and y'all are already doing it, right? Y'all are already doing it. We're just talking about taking it to a whole nother level, right? Because you're here. So we're on the same frequency. We're on the same wavelength, right? I'm just putting words to the experience that you're having, right? So we're not having to choose one thing or another. We get to have our spiritual depth, right? And we get to have the goodness, the luxuries of life, right? So one of the things that I think is so important, a lesson that I learned from my good sis Phyla, is you can use your areas of success, other areas of success. Maybe you've been a great mother. You can use the inspiration and the lessons that you've learned from that and project it into another area of your life, right? You can use the skills that you've learned in your family life and put that towards a business, right? So I think it's so important, family, to really look at what matters to you, right? What matters to you? What's important to you? That's where, look, I'm going to show y'all this video really quickly of my good sis Phyla, her son, right? He did this beautiful poem about her. And when I saw this poem, I was like, she's successful, right? My mind was just like, she is successful, because for her child to create something like what he did, that to me is success as a mother, right? Let me just show it to y'all so that y'all can understand what I'm talking about, right? Her son is an artist and literally made this beautiful poem about his mother. And he did it in such a masterful way. I was proud, right? I was proud like he was my my child. Let me see if I can find it on here. I done saved it. I am actually on, oh, I think I got it. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. All right, let me share my screen. All right. This is my friend Phila's son, and it's just a new definition of success. Look at this.
Yo mama is so... Nah, I talked to you earlier. You kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. Yo mother is so damn... Nah, I need those pictures later. But my mama is so gun. She got a few trigger words just might pop off when she hear her. My mama, so bullet. One look at you, she might pierce through your soul clean through. My mother is so damn gunpowder. When you get her heated, she just might blow up on your ass, because my mama is a weapon of mass destruction. But you gotta understand, because my mother is also a flare gun. Because at your coldest and your darkest, she will provide you with both light and fire. With that light inside her, she's been lighting fires in my heart since the day I was born. My mother is a harpoon gun, because she'll find you at your deepest and your darkest. She will latch on to you, pull you ashore before you ever even got to realize you were drowning. My mother is a sniper, seeing shit from so damn far away. Hey, Ma, there's this girl. Oh, you like her, huh? That's not what I was going to say. Mama, how'd you know that? I didn't even know I liked her yet, Ma. See, my mama, she do. See, my mama is a water gun filled with ink. My mother is that bubble gun from Home Alone, painted real realistic looking because she's scary. But I promise she knows how to love you gently. My mother is a glass cannon, because I know it tore her apart to give me life. Trust me, I was a C-section baby, but she figured out how to put all those pieces back together, so I never had to see her broken. My mother is a catapult, because she's been taking everything, weighing her down, and used it to make me soar. My mother is a slingshot, because she'll hold everything back if it means I get to go far. My mama is the bang of an African drum. My mama taught me how to load a clip of consonants, cock it, sound confident. My mama can mumble a magazine to a Mac 10 beam at your dome with just the words, watch when we get home. Because my mama is a weapon of mass creation. My mama has changed chambers by choosing challenges that gives her child choices. So how could I ever miss my shot when I'm the son of a gun? Boom.
Wow. Like, did y'all hear that? Like, what? Like, I'm captivated. I'm captivated by what that brother just did. Like, what? So I think about my sis Phyla, who he wrote that poem about. I think about how deeply she has to love her son, how much she had to pour into. What? That's success. That's success, you know? And so, and one of the things, Phyla has been on the show multiple times. Yeah, she has been on the page multiple times. Y'all can go and find videos with her and her work. But one of the things that I've learned from her, seeing her as a successful spiritual woman, right, who has become my sister, right, is the big picture vision. This was one of the very first things I heard her teach in the devotion to self-care, and how we could have motherhood, legacy, success, abundance. We could have all of the things that we desire, right? And so I want to share with y'all that from her, right? It's the big picture vision is what you actually desire for your life. What is it that you really want? I remember sitting as Phyla's assistant. I was assisting her. She was doing an online queendom course, which she's doing again now. She's reopened her queendom. I think she has like a yearly subscription or a yearly membership thing going on right now. And I remember sitting there and her really explaining to the ladies, visualize, fantasize. What do you want? What is the big picture vision for your life? And of course, I'm seeing and visualizing and fantasizing and feeling. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want for my life. And the beautiful thing about it is that your vision will not be the same as my vision. Your vision will not be the same as anybody else's vision. We may have similarities. We may have things that kind of go together. But the depth of your vision, the creativity of what your heart desires should not be limited by what society is saying is success. That's the very thing that is blocking success, right? So spiritually successful women know and think from a perspective of what is good and well in my heart, right? And so there'll be layers and levels to that understanding. And I'm so excited to see you all's visions continue to come to pass. So I want you to do on a nightly basis, on a regular basis, spend time in your vision. What I like to do before I go to bed, I'm laying down first of all, my whole nighttime routine is just spiritual, right? Once I get Kai to sleep, I'm relaxing, making me some tea, playing me some music. I may do a little coloring, who knows? But I'm going to get in that bed. I'm going to get all cozy. And I'm going to say, Desiree, what is it that you really want? And I'm just going to sit there and I'm just going to look. And I'm going to come up with all the scenarios, all the images, all the wonderful possibilities. And as I'm in it, I'm feeling the emotions of it. I'm loving it. It's arousing. Okay. Literally, when I tell y'all, when you in the bed and you on your way to sleep and you are just fantasizing. And let me tell you, some of the stuff that you desire, you already have. So you also need to realize that in these moments. So you need to also have gratitude, right? Which is the source code of it all. When you're in that visualization, when you're in that fantasy and that desire, have gratitude for it, enjoy it, feel good about it, let it literally turn you on. It should become arousing to you. You should want to be like, okay, it's getting hot in here because these visualizations is just so damn sexy. Okay? That's your vision. I'm telling you, ladies, get into your arousal seduction bag when it comes to your desires. And the way that you will make sure that you are in the right frequency to actually receive it is if the desires are coming from your own heart. Let me tell you, all of the success that looks like glitter and gold or whatever that is all outside of you, that shit don't even turn you on like that. The arousal doesn't last long. It looks good in the moment. You're like, ooh, that looks good. And then a day or two pass and you're like, nah, I guess not. I'll tell you, that almost happened to me. I was almost bamboozled. I almost bamboozled myself off the glitter and gold shit, right? Excuse my language. I almost literally bamboozled myself and put myself in a situation that I wouldn't have been happy in, just trying to align with other people's idea of success. This literally just happened to me this past week. So I'm a coordinator, right? And a lot of the women that work for the same company that I work for, they overwork, right? They overgive, they overshare, they overdo, they're breaking their backs. And I've just decided that is not me. That's not who I am. I am not a grunt work person. I am not a person that has to prove myself by working here above and beyond, right? By making your, like by owning your place, right? This is your place. I'm a contractor here, right? I almost fell into that because I was feeling this pressure from everybody that works at the company who works like that. I was feeling this pressure from them, like, Desiree, like, we want you to do more. We want you to be more. And so Spirit had gave me an idea to where I could give them more and I could have a little exchange. And I felt excited about that initially, right? I felt like, ooh, that'll do it. That'll prove to them. Now I'll be aligned with their circus. And so the first night I was excited, but then something happened where my energy shifted about it. I was like, wait, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to be spending my time there like that. That's not the real goal that I have. You know, one of my spiritual teachers that I love, her page is The Universe Guru here on YouTube, right? She said this. She calls it false lovers. She said, you will distract yourself with something else to avoid pursuing the real desire, the real thing. So I literally almost gave them more time, more energy, more effort just to fit in with their code of success, just to fit in with what that company values, which is going against my own nature. So I had to tell myself, well, first of all, my spirit got me together real quick and was just like, Desiree, girl, bye. On Sundays, you doing more of those brunches that you just did in October. In fact, ladies, I am contemplating a little coffee date in Houston on a Sunday morning, calling all the ladies together again. Let's have some coffee, some tea, and just talk. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I'm still planning it. I just need to put it out there, actually. So that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I almost was tricked into falling into their success code. Do we understand? And sometimes, ladies, when you're wanting to be successful, or you're wanting to reach a certain level or have a certain level of respect in your company, you'll do things like that to try to prove something or because you think that's the next step in getting to where you want to go. And for some of you, it may be, but you have to ask yourself, what is it that you truly desire? Really? And when I really looked at that, I was like, oh yeah, no, that's not the decision for me. And I made a different choice. If you want to be truly successful, ladies, and if you want to really be fulfilled in your life, you're going to have to make choices that go against logic sometimes. You're going to have to do things that are not textbook. You're going to have to be the disruptor and the rebellion in certain spaces, right? It just is what it is. But that's the beauty of your vision coming to life. That's the beauty of you creating your own reality. That's why we are called you, your own universe. And that's my eye. Mayat says you get to have the balance and the harmony of all of these things. Nobody said it had to be, I just work 1,000 hours a week and then don't have love or don't have family. Nobody said I have to just have family and not have a business or a profession that I love. Nobody said that you can't be all the things. Nobody said that. But the world is always trying to condition and box us in. And so you have to break through that and get out of the rat race, get off the hamster wheel and start choosing for yourself what success will be. Okay? So let's keep going. Another thing that spiritual, successful women do is they tend to their strengths and their magic. They don't sleep on themselves. I've said this before. I think I said this like maybe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. If you want to truly be successful, you have to know what it is you're good at, and you have to live in that frequency. You have to not allow anybody or any situation or any space to make you question your value. When you are in your strength, you are in your value. When you are in your magic, you are in your impact, your manifestation, your influence. Spiritually successful women and successful women that are spiritual, they think from their place of strength and their place of power. They're never perceiving themselves or their situation in victimhood. Nope, we're never a victim. We successful women, we spiritual women, we're never a victim to any situation or circumstance. Doesn't matter what it is. Everything, I can use every single thing that comes into my life as a stepping stool, as a springboard. That's a whole nother topic. That's going to be topic number 3. Let me stay on topic number 2. Topic number 2, point number 2. Idea number 2 that spiritually successful women embody is that they know their strengths, they know their purpose, they know their magic, and they show up in it daily. Everything they touch and everything they do has to be soul aligned and purpose aligned. And that's not to say that sometimes we don't make mistakes and say yes to something that we were on edge about. That's why I said we have to be very careful about the things that we decide to do and make sure that it is aligned with the success that we desire for ourselves. Okay? So, yeah, sometimes you're going to make a decision or say something too quick and it not really align, but in those moments, it's a lesson learned. It's something that you take away and that makes a difference in how you move forward, right? It opens up a whole nother level of awareness for you when you have a quote unquote misstep. No, it's not a misstep. It's not a mistake, right? It's just a redirection. It's an alignment. It's you needed to learn something through that experience, through that decision. There was something that you needed that was going to support you in having the success that you desire. Spiritually successful women know their magic and they share it. They share it freely and monetarily. Okay. We get paid for it and we also give it away freely. Right. So one of the ladies, actually, let's get into the book. Let's get into the book, right? Let's get into the book. This is activation of the book, right? And the reason why we have to talk about this is because so many women are constantly fixating on what they need to change in order for them to be successful, what they need to fix about themselves. I need to change the way that I speak. I need to lose weight. I need to get into a relationship. I need to get that degree. You're telling yourself all of these things that you need to fix or that you need to change. And the issue with that negative self-talk and that low self-concept is that that's where you start to create from. Spiritually and spiritually successful women focus on their strengths. They build on their strengths. And that's not to say that you ignore the challenges, that you ignore the adversity, that you ignore the things that you need to work on. You have awareness of them, but you're not focused on them. That's the difference. I don't focus on the fact that, man, me in time, we be having to work together. I don't focus on that, though. I don't focus on the fact that I'm pulling up to my job 3 minutes before. I don't focus on that. I don't focus on, oh, Desiree, dang it, you're almost late again. No, I focus on the fact that when I come in here, I'm going to give this beautiful, vibrant energy that is going to make sure that everyone in here leaves with a certain level of joy, peace, and comfort. That is what I focus on. And because I focus on that, that overshadows all of the perceived weaknesses, shortcomings, or setbacks. Got it? Let's get into the book, right? Because I got a page for y'all. I want y'all to actually understand this and integrate this into your day-to-day. This is so important. I want you to really lean in here. I want you to get really, really close and lean in. It says, what are your strengths? Your strengths are traits you own, celebrate, and frequently use. They are innate, and you are energized by them. Not only are you energized, but others feel elevated when they experience you using your strengths. Have you ever watched a remarkable performance and felt inspired? You are elevated as you watch strengths in action. Ever had a teacher whose creativity allowed him or her to explain a lesson in a way that led to your aha moment? Again, you are elevated by the use of someone else's strengths. You are better for it. Among the many tools I have used with clients in the training programs and training sessions, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to do all of that. Here's what I am going to do. I hope y'all got that point, right? You are made better through encountering someone living and operating in their strengths and in their magic. And this is the very reason why, in order for you to be successful, in order for you to really experience the desires of your heart in this physical realm, you have to find your strength and lean into it daily. You have no other option. Like, what did you come here to do? What are you good at? If you have those questions in your mind, I'm about to read to you some of the things that she says are strengths. Maybe you haven't heard of them in this way, in the way that you may hear it now, may support you in accepting the fact that there is absolutely something great about you and you get to own it, right? Some of you are already owning it, but you're kind of second guessing it, you're doubting. You're like, okay, well, how do I? You're in a space of, well, how do I intentionally share this gift that I know I have, right? You're probably in that space. How do I show up? I know I have it, but how do I give it? We'll talk about it. Let's listen to these gifts really quickly. Appreciation of beauty and excellence. She's literally saying that is a strength. The ability to see something as beautiful and excellent. I know some of y'all can do that. Bravery and valor. Capacity to love and be loved. Caution, prudence, and discretion. These are strengths. Discretion, wow. Citizenship, teamwork, and loyalty. Creativity, ingenuity, and originality. Curiosity and interest in the world. Fairness, equity, and justice. Forgiveness and mercy. Gratitude. Honesty, authenticity, and genuineness. Hope, optimism, and future-mindedness. Humor and playfulness. Industry, diligence, and perseverance. Judgment, critical thinking, and open-mindedness. Kindness and generosity. Love of learning. Modesty and humility. Perspective, wisdom. Self-control, self-regulation. Social intelligence, spirituality, sense of purpose and faith, zest, enthusiasm, and energy. Which one of those are your strengths? There's so many things. There's so much power that you possess, right? And the real question is, how do you give it more? One of the most beautiful, spiritually successful, and successful in the physical women that I love and know is Miss Blue. Miss Blue, oh my goodness. Like, when I look at her, I am so inspired. I'm so inspired on a divine and sacred level. And it's for this very reason of just the sheer giving of her strength and her magic. She don't stop. And that is such a beautiful thing. Dream and I have been listening to Planet Remix since way back when, for years, for as long. Dream and I have been together almost 11 years now, and we have been listening to Miss Blue since then. And she was on way before then. And the thing about Miss Blue that is so magical and majestic is she is like a never-ending well of insight and energy to the longevity and the sustainability of her career as an oracle, as a teacher, as a leader. I'm blown away. But it's because she has just she gives and gives and gives and gives and gives. I don't know how the hell Miss Blue will be on those phone calls or on those live streams 4 hours, 5 hours. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. All of these people are coming on there asking, well, Miss Blue, how's my energy? Is my ancestors coming through? What are my spirit guides having to say? She is open to so much energy. And through her evolution from Blog Talk to, I don't even things in between there, YouTube with other people coming on her YouTube, her going on YouTube by herself without the camera on, to now camera on, to a new page, to readings. The infinite well. Ladies, this is how you tap into your success. This is how your success overflows and expands. It's because when you find your strength, your magic, your gift, your cup runneth over. Your cup runneth over. And one of the major lessons that I've also learned from Ms. Blue to support you in this is you have to take care of your own spiritual maintenance. You cannot give in your strength, your power, your magic if you are spiritually low. So your meditation, your yoga, your fasting, your spiritual baths, your eating well, your prayer, your exercise, your connecting with other people, your spiritual development lays the groundwork for your ability to even show up in your magic. But one thing a successful and spiritual woman is going to do, operate in her purpose everywhere she goes. Everywhere she goes, she is living in her strengths. She's giving. It's serving. You will feel her. You will feel her. You will know her when she enters the room. Know your magic. Let me know in the comments if you know your magic right now. Right now. What are your strengths? Have you been focusing on your strengths or focusing on your weaknesses? Have you been focusing on what God has given you to give back, or have you been focusing on lack? Giving back or lack? Back or lack? Which one? You've been giving back. Congratulations to you. Thank you for giving back. Thank you for giving back. Thank you for pouring into yourself and pouring into others. Okay. I want to read this page though. Whoa, do we want to go there? Do we want to go there? No, I'm not going to go there because I think y'all get it. Listen, one of the other things that spiritually successful women do, oh my God, they are resilient. They're resilient. Nothing's going to stop them from showing up in their power, right? So we got to talk about this because one of the things that I think is so important is your ability to be tenacious, your ability to alchemize. If you're going to be successful and walk a spiritual path and have spiritual success, meaning you transform your wounds, you turn pain into purpose, trials into triumphs, you make manifest. The things that are in your heart and mind that you want, you get, right? That's spiritual success. If you're going to do that and be successful at that, you have to be an alchemist. You have to be able to shift the poles. You have to be able to take something that appears to be negative, wrong, or bad and alchemize it using the power of your mind, your energy, your emotions. And one of the most important keys of being able to alchemize the polarity that this human experience offers is resilience. You got to be a bad bitch. You got to be a bad bitch. Listen. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all a few examples, right? Think about Candace Owens. Dream and I were just watching a Candace Owens video. And Candace Owens has come out and said that she has the #1 podcast in the world. In the world, Craig. #1 in the world. Candace Owens has the #1 podcast in the world. Do you know how much hate and vitriol Candace Owens face? And I didn't say faced, like past tense. I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the Black people, white people, Jewish people, Christian people, LGBTQ people. Candace Owens, what? Resilient. Nobody will ever be able to take anything away from Candace Owens because the strength and the resilience and the power and how the girl will take something negative and make it a positive. Candace Owens, y'all, in this video we just watched was literally like laughing at all the things. She literally said, yeah, I want to thank Ben Shapiro and all of these people at the Daily Wire. You know, the Daily Wire, that's a Jewish conglomerate, right? Again, this goes back to success because people would think, wow, Candace Owens, you got to work for this huge media company. You made so much money in doing so. That is success, right? But she experienced so much backlash, so much trauma, so much abuse coming from these communities and ultimately ended up being fired, right? So it's like, what is success? And so in her getting fired, she ends up sponsoring her own damn podcast, which is killing it, right? Whether you like her rhetoric or not, the girl is killing the game, standing on business, right? That's resilience. That's like Candace Owens has a warrior spirit. Her spirit is like, she's saying she exposing everything, right? Whether anybody else believes it or not, if she is convicted in her spirit, she's standing on business. See, that is and that's why the aspect of weaknesses and strengths has to be dealt with. Going back to what I was just talking about, right? Sometimes your strength can become a weakness, right? When you don't know how to balance that energy out. I was actually reading a story in this book that was talking about how this woman she wasn't a single mom. She was married, but her husband was always at work. And so because her husband was always work, she ran her house like a military, right? She ran her house like nobody tell her nothing. She handling business. She on it. Nobody, nothing, period. It's her show. And once her husband, stopped working as much, she started working for companies, and the companies really appreciated that rigor and that intensity, that strength that she had, right? But then eventually the company was like, why does anybody that works under you, they're quitting or they're not leaving and they're not happy at their job? And she said after she sat down and thought about it, this strength that she had with keeping things orderly and organized ended up turning into her being controlling, her being this type of energy that nobody wanted to work with. Her strength became a weakness. Do we understand? So what we want to understand is that some of the things that you are meant to do, because you've exploited it and because it has been out of my yacht, now the energy has shifted, right? but remember who you are. Success is not about chasing something. It's about remembering, right? Because success is an internal thing. It's your fulfillment. It's what feels good to you, right? And there's levels to that shift. My mother felt successful just by all her kids being good in life. Like my mama was like, I'm a success as a woman, as a mother. All of my kids are doing good in their life. They have families. They taking care of themselves. I'm successful, period. Then my mother's success meter changed when she left her job and became an entrepreneur. Success, period. So your level of success shifts based off of where you are, right? But at the end of the day, it's about recognizing your magic and in real life, being able to do the alchemy and be resilient, right? Understanding what your strengths are and navigating accordingly. Let's read this part on resilience, right? It says, why you must increase your resilience. By our definition of resilience, you don't need it just for setbacks. You need it to live well. You need it to succeed. You need to keep disappointments, anger, and exhaustion from derailing your best plans because they will threaten to do just that. Resilience is a way of living that empowers you not only to navigate the setbacks and unexpected turns of life and minimize obstacles on your path to success. In essence, the most resilient people can sometimes appear as though they face their problems, as though they face the fewest challenges. The truth is, they are so adept at noticing potential problems and taking action to avoid them that it appears things just come easily for them. Really, they are just doing the work on the front end. These people have what I like to call realistic optimism. Realistic optimists are confident about the future, but see the potential pitfalls they could very easily trip them up if they don't pay attention. Realistic optimists don't murmur and complain about problems, allowing them to become excuses for why they don't do something. Instead, they plan for them. When there is a problem, acknowledge it. Look for ways to resolve it, but be clear about what you can control and what you cannot, right? So here's the question that it asks. It says, in what ways does this concept apply in your life right now? Is there a problem it is time to acknowledge? Is an immovable obstacle ushering you to take a detour from your path, right? So what is this all about? What is this saying holistically? You have to be prepared for what it is you say you want. On the journey to your dreams, goals, and desires, there's going to be issues. There's going to be problems. There's going to be road bumps. You're going to be like, oh shit, I was not expecting that. Threw me for a curveball. But how do you let that impact you? How do you let that shift you and change you? Does it become a stepping stone to your manifestation? Does it become a source of power, a source of strength? Right? Resilience. Resilience is a divine muscle. Resilience is a skill. The ability to transmute pain into purpose, trials into triumphs, right? Every fall as an opportunity to go higher. Divine, sacred. You know, I was talking about a young lady on YouTube that I follow has been on YouTube for, I want to say 15 years making video. And I'm not talking about just been on YouTube. I'm talking about consistent. I'm talking about you can go back to 15 years ago of being on YouTube and you can see her evolve and change and grow. Hell, if you go look at my YouTube, if you go look 6 years ago from today, I don't look the same. I don't sound the same. I don't act the same. Don't think the same. but the resilience and the ability to still be here and to still do what I love. My girl over at the Universe Guru, like 15 years on YouTube, and now so successful, right? Like how she defines success and how she's expressing it, I agree. She did it. She when I look at her, I'm like, got it. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God, for showing me somebody, right? And that's another thing. If you want to be successful spiritually and, of course, in the physical, don't go at it alone. Stop trying to figure it out all by yourself. There are people who are doing what you desire to do. Why do you have this wound that says you have to go and figure it out by yourself? You gotta, and listen, I've been her too. Just like figuring it out, like, okay, just trying to figure it out. Maybe like scraping to try to figure it out. It is so much easier when you connect with like-minded people on the same path, same journey. It is so much easier when you find community that is in the same frequency, have the same goals and desires. It is so much easier when you find a mentor, somebody who you appreciate, who's real, who's genuine. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. It's so good to be the student. It's so good to be the student and to go through that learning process. Because when you do, you be like, oh shit. And then it's so funny because a lot of the things that I've been able to manifest and experience, a lot of success that I've been able to just revel in, right? The success that I get to experience every single day, it was not as hard as I thought that it was going to be, right? And that doesn't mean that you don't have challenges, because you do, but it gets to be easy. Like the things that I was like, ooh, that's going to be hard. I don't know if I could do that. Spirit says, watch, just do it. Just try it. Take a deep breath. And so what I want to say to y'all when it comes down to resilience and showing up, no matter what season of your life you are in, is that you got to get grounded into something deeper. You got to get grounded into something greater. That goes back to point number 1 with your vision, right? Because sometimes the vision that you have for your life will call you to evolve. And it's going to take resilience in that process. Becoming something new, oh my God, it's a never-ending journey. Right? And it requires you being invested, you being intentional every single day and embodying those spiritual codes, right? And so there's 3 things that I really want to give y'all and leave y'all with that really sums up this whole thing, that really like makes it all make sense and brings it all into Maya, truly, right? Truly brings it into Maya. Is that 1, true success comes from freedom, right? Not having your desires, your wants, your pursuits be conditioned by the external world. It comes by you being the authority of your own life, you being the co-creator of your own life, and you designing it in the way that serves your unique perspective. That's number 1. Number 2, true success comes by really embracing your strengths and your magic. It's by you being empowered in who you are, you being empowered in the thing that you are meant to do in this existence. That's how it's going to get done, right? And so think about the things that we listed here as strengths. Meditate on those things. And if you still have questions about your strength, something that you can do is contemplate on moments where people just appreciated you, praised you, and almost gave you this energy of like, how did you do that, right? Think about those moments. I'm sure you've had them. Think about those moments where something just came easy to you, right? But the main focus holistically is just empowering yourself, focusing on the good that is you, the great that is you, not fixating on what you have to fix and heal and transform. You're aware of those things, but you're not placing a magnifying glass on it. You're magnifying the beauty that is you. You're appreciating yourself, right? And then number 3, it's alchemy. You have to become the alchemist. You have to be able to shift those poles through resilience. Anything that is thrown at you that looks like it was supposed to take you out, that looks like a tower moment, is for your rebuildment, is for your refinement, is for your purpose. It's you proving to yourself that you really about that life. It's your spiritual mastery. This is Mayat. The Mayat energy says when you start to be free within yourself, empower yourself through your gifts, your magic, your skills, your talents, and when you are resilient in this life experience, success is inevitable. Success is Mayat. You are just getting back all that you are. So focus on your vision. Fantasize about it every night. Get real sexy. Get turned on by it. Okay. Let me pause. Hold on. I'm getting way too excited, right? Way too excited. Ladies, first of all, the Patreon is coming. I'm going to just put it out there. Your girl has made her Patreon. I need to actually drop the link, right? I just want y'all to just join me for free. We're going to start a book club. I am starting. Join the community for free. Let me just start there. Number 2, we are going to start a book club in my Patreon. I already got the book. I told the ladies that are in Dream and Ice Patreon, right? Chaos in the Blood, okay? I've already told those ladies this Saturday we're going to tap in. They don't know, though. I'm telling you right now that we're going to get locked in onto my Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there because y'all are going to support me. Y'all are going to be like, D-Ray, drop the link right now. D-Ray, drop the link right now. Can't drop the link right now, but it is ready. It's available. I'm going to drop the link soon. Ladies, join the free community. We are going to start a book club. I'm so excited about it. I don't know how I got pulled in that direction. I don't know what type of channel just came through. Spirit just said, talk about it. So yes, I am so very excited about it, ladies. Be ready for the Patreon. We are going to be diving into more womb work, more readings, more spiritual downloads, more womb alchemy. I don't know. It's just, I'm so excited about it, right? Wow. I don't know why Spirit took me down that rabbit hole. Spirit, what was that about? It was just meant to share. Yeah. You know, my real desire, like my heart's desire is to empower, is to enlighten, is to strengthen. And so this Patreon is the new Sacred Sister Circle, right? About maybe 4 years ago, oh my God, like 4 years ago, I had the Sacred Sister Circle. I ran it for 2 consecutive years, and it was so beautiful. It was one of the most magical experiences I've had in this work. And oh my God, it's just time to bring it back. It's just time to bring back that energy. This is the Maya energy at play, right? I had given a lot of energy to my coaching and to things like that. And now Spirit is like, okay, it's time to get back in the group setting, in the community. It's time for more things outside. Like last month, like I said, I got it started with just creating that space for women to really feel empowered. And I know that's the point where I was at with just, you got to know what it is you're here to do, you know? And the resilience and the alchemy comes in because there are going to be things that will distract from that purpose and that power and that strength, right? But you have to be the alchemist. You have to turn lead to gold. You have to be able to look at it and say, I see you. Got it. Perfect. That's how I use that. Right? Like, the spiritual mastery is really the gateway. And it's the journey, it's the work. Ladies, I'm telling you, that's exactly why you need to be in the Sacred Sister Circle. Because in the Sacred Sister Circle, we are in action. And also at the same time, know when to rest. That's the thing. Like, these things cannot just be theory. This has to become lived experience. So when I'm saying do the alchemy, I'm saying when shit happens in your life, look at it like, okay, let me reframe this. How am I seeing this? What am I missing? Wait, let me dissect this. Let me pull it apart, switch that around. Da 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 da. Got it. This is the frame that serves my highest good. Thank you, Spirit. I receive it. And then I stand on that and I walk in that. That's the frequency. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here with me. It's been a beautiful transmission, and I'm so glad to spend this time. All right, ladies, stay tuned for the Patreon, the Sacred Sister Circle, but also stay tuned for Womb Wednesdays. Like, it's going down. It's going down. All your sexy, juicy, listen. I'm gonna keep it to myself for now. Because I'll end up in a whole nother wormhole. Okay? Peace and love, family. I'll catch y'all in the next one.